All right, guys, our Zach Lowe and Adrian Wojnarowski are reporting that NBA team personnel who want to be on the inside layer of the Orlando campus are expected to be asked to submit personal medical histories to a panel of physicians who would then review their individual risk of serious illness if they were to contract COVID-19. There's a lot more to this report to unwrap, including whether the American Disabilities Act or age discrimination laws apply here. But for now, Chiney, just give me your gut reaction on this opening an entirely new can of worms here.
My initial reaction is I don't like it when my personal medical information gets an additional set of hands, one that will judge the course of my career or future, especially if you're a player, but most notably, I think we're thinking about the older coaches. So I would feel horrible if I was an older coach that was 60 or 70 in the league. My team, and I can list the names, but my team is primed, for a position in the playoffs, and then all of a sudden I'm excluded. But at the same time, being on the WNBA Players Association and also hearing from the NBA, safety is so important. So there are bigger things. We want to prevent, any horrible situations. So these are the sacrifices that are necessary to be made for return to basketball. If I was that person, I just would not feel that great if I am that one that's excluded. That is vital to my team's success.
Yeah, but I understand that. But no one wants to play in Orlando. We just talked about Denver, 15 minutes ago, and the competitive advantage they had playing in Denver at that elevation. Everyone is going to lose some sort of competitive advantage, whether it was Milwaukee and having home court advantage throughout the postseason, the Lakers through the Western Conference. So there was a lot of things that are going to change here. This is not ideal, but what they're saying is here, look, we want to make sure the people that are going to be coming into this bubble, that are going to be exposing themselves, we want to make sure that they are as healthy as possible and they don't have pre-existing things. And so, yes, you might be upset, but what is more important, let's say hypothetically, keeping an individual like D'Antoni or Greg Popovich alive or having their team make it to the conference finals? Which one is more important? So I think it's okay to have another step and have another group of individuals just look at this medical history, make sure that they are fit to serve in this bubble, and it's really about their safety. We can't say, well, it's a competitive disadvantage. Well, I want you to make sure that you stay alive and you're healthy. I want everyone there, but we have to make sure that in the idea of public safety and public health, that the people that are most at risk are the individuals that have that we make sure that we're taking care of them.
But it's complicated, Richard, right? Because you are now putting in someone else's hands a panel of sort of nameless physicians, whether certain personnel, certain coaches get to be in the bubble and do their jobs, and that can be a very slippery slope. We could apply that to all kinds of things. If I decide in the company of ESPN that it's more of a risk if somebody over a certain age just doesn't come into work, we start making decisions for other people about what they can and cannot do. That is very dangerous. There are a lot of laws against that, and I am curious which ones will apply to this situation. Now, I definitely understand how terrifying it must be for the NBA, an organization in a league that has shown it genuinely cares about the people who work here, to know that, hey, we might be exposing someone to something that could kill them. That's terrifying. But it doesn't make them more of a spreader, right? If somebody is of a certain age or has an underlying condition, it doesn't make them more likely to spread to other people. You're not endangering other people. It's really about that person's health. Richard, do you think it's okay to tell them we know better for you than you do?
Yes, in this moment, because the reason why are we in Orlando? Why are we going to a bubble? Why are we doing all of this testing? To protect people's safety, right? So if we're looking at all the layers of this, we're trying to make sure that people are healthy and safe. And if there's somebody that the NBA and all of the doctors deem to be too high at risk to enter into this for themselves, it's going to suck. Yes, it's not going to be a fun conversation, but ultimately they're doing it to protect an individual's life.
It's a necessary conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I certainly understand why they want to. It will be interesting to see if they are even allowed to. We will be following this week. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.